Joining me now is Glenn Gerstel, a former general counsel of the National Security Agency, senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Glenn, this is such a big deal, and with all the torrent of news, appointments and controversial nominees, they're not nominees yet, but names, we have probably not focused enough on how did they get in, how long are they staying, what do we know, and why was it so easy, and what have they compromised? A lot of questions.
A lot of questions, and you're right. In any other situation, if we didn't have this much news, this would be the top of the hour news, so to speak. But it is really an extraordinary development. It's an audacious, strategic, and sophisticated action on the part of the Chinese. And just think about it. We have a foreign adversary that somehow got into our telecom systems, apparently 8 of our telephone systems, apparently had access to the voice calls and data of and text messages of many millions of Americans. And in particular, the Chinese hackers were able to focus on about 150 high-value targets, so to speak, of interest to the Chinese. And this included President-elect Trump, Senator Vance, Homeland Security Advisor in the Biden White House, Senator Schumer's staff. And you can imagine the kind of intelligence goldmine the Chinese would get by having the ability to listen in on phone calls and see text messages of those people. And what an extraordinary development.
So have all of these people been warned and have been told to change their data and passwords? But do we know how they got in? And until we know that, we don't know if they're still there.
So the FBI has said that it's gone to about 150 individuals and given them warnings that your communications may have been breached. Exactly how they got in and whether they're still there are the big questions. There's a cyber safety review board meeting that's occurring today that's going to start the process of trying to figure out how the Chinese hackers were able to get into our telecom system.
Who runs that?
And that's a unit of the Department of Homeland Security. It's an independent board. They'll issue their findings in due course. But, the telecom system that we have, we tend to think of it as just one big network because it's so easy for you or me to take our cell phones and just dial a number and instantly around the world the call answered. And we just think of it as one seamless thing. It isn't. It's made up of many, many different separate companies. And even within companies, there are legacy systems and old computers. So there are a lot of seams, a lot of points of junction, a lot of points of interconnection. And every one of those is a potential vulnerability. So the telephone system has been known for years to be just full of holes from a cybersecurity point of view. I should add one thing, though, that apparently the Chinese were not able to get into encrypted apps and messages. So messages between 2 iPhones, for example, are encrypted end-to-end. Apparently that's not visible to the Chinese, definitely not visible to the Chinese. There are other apps elsewhere like Signal and others that also afford some level of this. But
how do we know they didn't get into, by indirection, if they were in President-elect Trump or Chuck Schumer, who's a member of the Big 8, they've got potentially national security information.
Absolutely.
But how do we know that they didn't get into government systems?
So we don't think they got in. There's no sign that they got into government secured systems, the classified systems that, say, NSA and the Pentagon runs and the CIA. But it does sound like, and there's a little bit of uncertain news here, it does sound like the Chinese were able to access the so-called lawful intercept system, which is the FBI system with the telephone companies, where they present a search warrant or other legal process to the telephone companies and say, give us the information from this particular target. Now, the Chinese don't particularly care about whether the FBI is chasing a bank robber or a child pornographer or financial crime, but they're really interested in knowing which Chinese spies are we onto, right, and which ones don't we yet know about. And that information, from the Chinese point of view, it would be just a devastating intelligence loss for us and an incredible bonanza for them.
And what about TikTok? Does this validate the D.C. Circuit's unanimous opinion that TikTok and ByteDance should be turned over?
Well, there's certainly no doubt that this feeds into the perception, which I think is the correct one, that China is a very, very serious national security threat. I don't think anyone's debating that, even in the TikTok discussions. There might be questions over what's the best way to deal with TikTok. Obviously, the D.C. Circuit has now decided that's constitutional. Just because it's constitutional doesn't necessarily mean it's the best way of dealing with it. But TikTok is now going to be in a real dead end. The law requiring divestiture to find a new non-Chinese owner comes up on January 19th, just the day before Inauguration Day. No internet provider, no app store is going to carry this unless there's an injunction in place.